Ladies and gentlemen, children, welcome back to the Top Guys podcast. My name is Black Prince Adam, also known as Omar K. Mill. I'm here with Race Bannon and Sade's husband. Which I'm a little bit salty about, but at the same time, I'm rooting for him. I was like, I ain't mad at it, but I'm mad at it because I would like to be Sade's husband. So I'm hating. I'm hator, hator. Stay on He-Man theming. Hator. My hate has made me powerful. I'm going to introduce my brethren. I'm going to start with, again, I always like to say this, the only man that I trust that has 3 first names. Chris James Scott. Also known artist extraordinaire, magical with pencils.
Oh man, keep going.
Just phenomenal at everything that he touches, that he draws. I sit in awe when he puts new stuff out. I have to get it. I love it. I got 2 copies of 2-Ton Rock God number 3, I believe. I think I got 2 copies. Copies of that one.
Is that the big fight, or is that them going to the new place?
I believe it's the big fight.
Okay.
Yeah, I have 2 copies of that because when you dropped it, I was like, oh, I must have it.
You might have a collector's item because that one has a gigantic typo on page 18.
I love it because I got artifacts,
intense action, and Rocky Washington screams, "Ipsif flim," just
fantastic,
ridiculous. It's what happens when you draw 50 pages of a comic book across 4 days and don't sleep. You go into the Speed Force and stuff gets blurry.
You're doing God's work, sir. That's what you were doing. The Lord's work.
But yes, I'm Chris James Scott.
Chris James Scott, Flesh Gordon himself. Yeah.
Hello, internet world.
And I would like to introduce to some and reintroduce to others my main man, my brother from another mother, high school musical partner in crime. It's actually true.
Yeah.
No, think about it. We did real life high school music.
Oh,
I didn't mean to do that.
I think we need to start a new section of the pod. Each episode, you get 5 minutes to drop some damn new, obscure Omar Devon old man high school lore.
You know what?
I'm down.
I've actually been thinking about doing something like that. So let's just
Let's just table that. Yeah, because we have several. Yeah.
Remember
we
that time
several.
we saved Aunt Jebediah from the well?
Man, Devon, what was the name of the security guard that you used to harass?
Oh God.
And say that he was like, he dressed like he just came home from the club? Because he did. I can't remember the dude's name, but he looked like, but you see him, right? We had the shirt with the chest hairs and everything.
Oh my God. I used to ride that man horribly. And I could see him like
he be wanting to fight you, but he can't.
He wanted to fight me because the more I would roast him, the tighter his grip would be on that big ass walkie-talkie that he had. Like, here it comes. Oh man.
That dude hated us. Yeah, he hated us, and we loved to give it to him. Ladies and gentlemen, the cake boss himself, the man that comes up with all of the ideas and makes this thing what it is. He is the glue, Devon Vincent Sanders. All right, and tonight, or today, whenever you're listening to this or watching this, we are talking about the Mount Rushmore one more time, but this time Marvel's Mount Rushmore. Now, a few guardrails for us. There are locks. These are, you cannot argue with these. These are undisputed. Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, Steve Ditko, they are there. there's no debating this. You again, if you are questioning this, we're questioning you, frankly. And so, really, it's that fourth one, and we're going to discuss that. Our who is fourth on the Mount Rushmore of Marvel, gentlemen. I offer the floor to either one of you. Who would like to set us forth?
You, Chris?
I mean, I can. Sure.
Please, sir.
Okay, all right. Are we done with the intros, by the way? We have longer intros than The Undertaker.
Yes.
Again, as always with our Mount Rushmore discussions, I must offer a disclaimer that the very concept of Mount Rushmore can go eat a dick because it's the six Godfathers, because that's stolen land. Anyway, my answer is John Romita Sr., because that's the only choice as far as I'm concerned. He got the gig after Ditko comes off because, all the stuff with Ditko and them happens. And what does John Romita do? He makes it his own and draws arguably the most important run of Spider-Man. Like he's responsible for so much of the stuff that we consider foundational building blocks to the character. Also, he made Pete sexy, and that ain't nothing.
Also, Mary Jane.
Yeah. Like
Mary Jane is his.
Dude, he did all that.
Mm-hmm.
That's John Romita Sr.
Yeah, we've been chasing that Mary Jane for over 50 years now.
I'm partial to Todd's Mary Jane, but that's because I'm a kid of the 80s.
Fair.
Big hair. It's big hair.
All right, that's a really good one.
Yeah, man. I got no notes. I mean, how you gonna argue with that? Yeah. You can't. In his version of Spider-Man, the logo, isn't it like with the arm out and everything? Yeah. You can. What you gonna do with that?
Yeah. And you know what? It's like we don't talk enough about this, but the man's character design is just
rock solid.
Rock solid.
He did not reuse faces for like the main characters. Yeah. Like these were different people.
Like he designed the costumes for Luke Cage, the Black Widow, the black leather outfit that she still basically rocks to this day. The Falcon, the red and white uniform, his most famous one. Did I say the Punisher? Punisher is his.
Is Punisher him?
Yeah,
I did not know that. Wow.
And Wolverine. Those are all his.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought that was not Herb Trimpe.
No, he designed it and Trimpe drew it.
Okay. Oh, I see. Okay, I got you.
Did not know that. Okay.
Yeah, he put it in motion, but design is like pretty much 100% Romita Sr. Yeah.
Gracious.
Nice.
Legend, boy. Legend.
Then another thing is like I wish that there was more of it, but the man was a demon when it came to romance comics back in the 60s. Some of the most beautiful, cleanest artwork you have ever seen. Ever. Just beautiful stuff.
Man.
Wasn't his art on the letters you would get from Marvel?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm remembering things now from my childhood or from the handful of times I submitted stuff like, Marvel, take my idea. And they're like, no, but you can have this wonderful picture by John Romita Sr.
Excelsior. Go fuck yourself.
Excelsior, kid. Go play in traffic.
Basically. Did he draw the advertisements in the back when they were doing like Hostess? So when Hulk murdered that roller skating gang by rolling them up in asphalt, that was him?
No, that was Sal Buscema.
Okay.
You can tell by the wild eyes. Wild eyes.
Got you. Yeah. You 100%. Like that's another one that you could be like,
yeah.
But yes, my answer, John Romita Sr. one of these days we got to do like an art podcast where we just talk about just like penciling and all that stuff, so I can, put on
Just
my
geek out
lab
on
coat.
All right.
Hey, man.
Yes, I released my time.
Listen, I have no notes.
It's a really good
0
one.
notes.
Oh, and the other thing that he gave us, John Romita Jr.
Yeah,
Yeah, he really is the real MVP.
We're on point.
Yeah, the man created his own successor that is equally dope.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I'm so dope. Look at this. Look what I have made.
equal. I don't know about equal. Like I do like John
granted.
Romita Jr. stuff.
Junior's nice though. He ain't.
He is.
He ain't. But he.
I don't want to get political on the podcast, Omar.
Fair. we got the laugh track in the back. I ain't mad.
But John Romita Jr. has said some things in the public square. We'll leave it at that. People can do a Google. They can come to their own opinions about things.
Yeah.
But when it comes to Spider-Man, John Romita Jr. he might be unfuckwittable.
That's his wheelhouse. Yeah.
That's a fact.
He should not draw Superman ever again.
Yeah.
It's wrong.
Yeah.
It's wrong.
That did hurt my feelings. So
incorrect. Like
wasn't good.
Wow. I said like that? Like you said it hurt. Like you got scars.
It's incorrect. It was the wrong fit.
It was solid work. Just not what he excels at. Yeah. He excels at street level.
At weird people.
Okay.
Spider-Man's a weird dude who does cool shit. Superman's not a weirdo. He's like, usually he's either punching somebody or he's standing stoic. John Romita Jr. don't need to be drawing nobody that's standing still. Doesn't need that. You need him to draw people in the shadows, And like then I would say, why wasn't John Romita drawing Batman? But then I believe Greg Capullo was drawing Batman at the time, and
say less.
If I got Greg Capullo drawing Batman, I don't think you should have John Romita Jr. also drawing I think you can put him to better use in a Creeper book. Damn it. Okay.
Cake Boss.
This is going to be a really interesting one. Mine, both of them are artists, and writers too. But
you got two?
I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah. So here's the deal. Marvel is going through bankruptcy. Okay, Chris knows what I'm about to say. Marvel's going through bankruptcy. Possibly could be shuttering. Marvel throws a Hail Mary and says, hey, you've been doing this thing over there. Why don't you do this thing over here? And they say, all right, we'll do it. Marvel pulls out of bankruptcy under these two guys. On my Mount Rushmore, without a doubt, is Joe Quesada and Jimmy Palmiotti. The two men who pulled Marvel from the brink of bankruptcy and built it up enough to where it was a thing that people were clamoring for. Hollywood chasing behind them, saying, let us give you money so that we can make these movies. And also got it to a point where Disney was like, oh, this thing that was about to go bankrupt about a decade ago, let me give you $4 billion for it. And now Marvel is on everybody's lips. And so here's another thing that they did. They were brilliant in what they actually chose to start with, because what a lot of people forget is that Chris's hand is really, really doing something to
I'm sorry.
He doing it to
I'm
distract.
sorry.
He want to throw you
Someone-
off. That's what it is.
Someone needed to go past the camera and did not want to be seen.
Gotcha.
So I had Jack Kirby hand
Gotcha.
in the
So,
camera.
back to Quesada, back to Palmiotti. So they made a lot of brilliant moves. They put the right talent on with the right characters. Black Panther, who had been at best maybe a C-list character, they put Christopher Priest, Mark Tejera on it, and they just
Is that how you say his name? I apologize for interrupting you. Okay.
And so it becomes one of the better selling books at Marvel. They take Doctor Strange and they put Tony Harris, fresh from Starman, on Doctor Strange. They take the Inhumans, a property no one was thinking of or checking for, and they put Paul Jenkins on it, and they put Jay Lee on it. Now they did do a Punisher thing with Bernie Wrightson that was beautifully drawn, but totally miscast. We'll just say that.
Ghost hunting Punisher.
Yeah. And then on top of that, the brilliance of getting Kevin Smith to write Daredevil while Palmiotti and Quesada are drawing this thing beautifully. Totally like reinvigorates Daredevil and puts him in a place probably not seen since the Frank Miller run.
It's arguable. I would argue that we don't have the Daredevil show.
Well, we don't.
Without Marvel Knights.
Wow.
No. We absolutely don't. I argue that we might not have Marvel without them. Because another thing that they did is that quietly, at least I believe Jimmy Palmiotti had to stepped away because of like interference from someone else who will go unnamed. But the seeds of the Ultimate Universe were cast with Palmiotti and Quesada. They created the Ultimate Universe as we know it, which was the thing that, let's be honest about it, the Avengers movie was based on the Ultimates. The characterizations of everything in the Marvel Universe is almost
based on the Ultimates. Yeah.
On the Ultimates, Ultimate Spider-Man. Where it's like, hey, here's a young Spider-Man again, because in the regular Spider-Man line, we were getting the stories of a guy who was in his 20s, who could not keep a damn job, who could not keep a girlfriend, who
in
could
a time when jobs grew on trees,
could not keep anyone's interest. It was just not working anymore. And then Palmiotti and Quesada create this whole new thing and say, hey, here's a thing that you can read without knowing all of the backstory from 50 years ago.
You don't need to know the Clone Saga.
Yeah, you don't need to know the Clone Saga. All you need to know is Spider-Man, Uncle Ben, Aunt May, let's go. And I loved it. And without them, I seriously doubt we would be talking about the Marvel Universe as we know it and billions know it without Joe Quesada and Jimmy Palmiotti. That's who's on my personal Mount Rushmore.
Nice.
That's nice. Yeah, no notes.
Strong That's outstanding. Kung Fu. I'd watch that PowerPoint presentation.
I would. I would come to that TED Talk.
I wouldn't mind if you read the slides. Like I'd riveted.
All right, I should have went first.
Oh,
because I gotta follow. Y'all.
He's going. That's right.
And Come on, man. And I know it's gonna be hot take territory. So children, listeners, I apologize in advance. This is not bad. It's not hot take, but I ain't gonna be able to live up to what these fine gentlemen have done. I'm gonna start with an honorable mention that is very personal for me. I can't put this person on my Mount Rushmore, but I really want to but it's in my feels. And Devon, you'll appreciate this. My honorable mention is Paul Smith.
Okay.
And the reason is the very first X-Men comic that I ever purchased, and this was when I first started collecting comics and I go to Jeppy's. In fact, what made me get on comic collecting to begin with, I had a kid that I went to elementary school with, and we know each other from first grade all the way through, sixth grade. Name was Robert Cassidy. Shout out to Robert Cassidy. Robert was like my rival in elementary school. So anything he did, I wanted to do, and I wanted to do it better than him, and vice versa. And so we were like each other's like motivation and villain. We were each other's ops, young ops. And so he comes into class one day and he's got G.I. Joe #6. And everybody's around his desk, and they're like, "What's this?" And he's like, "Oh, this is G.I. Joe." And I'm looking, and well, now I want G.I. Joe because he has G.I. Joe. You cannot have that and I not have it. So I go home, to Mama Mills, and I say, "Listen, I need G.I. Joe." And now, mind you, my mother, baby boom mother, goes, "You want a 12-inch action figure?" Which is what G.I. Joe was to her. And I'm like, "No, it's a comic book." And she was like, "You don't do comic books?" I was like, "I gotta read." Yeah, you don't even, you ain't got time to be reading. Like, it started young, the not be reading. So she was stunned. She was more stunned than y'all are now, saying that I want a book, right? I want something to read. So we go, we living in, my grandmother lived in Northeast DC at the time. And so this was, Devon, this is how long ago this was. Heckinger Mall was new.
Heckinger Mall?
Heckinger Mall was, mind you, it was new. Like, they had just built it. And so we go, because my uncle was working in Variety Records at Heckinger Mall. So this is 80, I want to say 84.
Come on, local lore.
Yeah, exactly. So we go in, and there was mind you, it wasn't called CVS back then for you youngsters. It was called People's Drug Store. And you could go into People's Drug Store, and they had the little spinner that had all the outdated comics. And I'm looking, and I find G.I. Joe #6. And I said, "Ma, I got to have it." She says, "Okay." And I think back then they were what, 50 cents? If even that. I'd have to check and see what it was, but it was less than $1 to get it. So I get it, and I come into school, and I'm ready to, face my ops. But my ops has G.I. Joe #7 now. And I'm like, this is some bull. What? How? Now I have to have that. I go back to Heckinger Mall, and I'm at the spinner, and they ain't got G.I. Joe #7. In fact, none of the comics have been updated. And I go up to the counter, and I said, "Where's #7?" And they were like, "Oh, it'll probably be here in a couple weeks." Because that was when they got around to convenience stores, or
because it wasn't the direct market.
Because it wasn't the market. And now I got to go, hat in hand to my ops and say, "Where you get that?" So I'm salty that I got to ask him for this. And so he, Mr. Burns, steeple fingers, right? He's like, "Well, I go to Jeppy's." And I'm thinking he's making this up. What the hell is Jeppy? He said, "No, but I'm legit, man." So this is long ago. I had to look it up in the phone book. I said, mind you, I'm looking in JEPPI and can't find it. And I'm like, I knew he made it up. And then dawned on me, wait a minute, go back, I find it, it's, Silver Spring, 8317 Fenton Street, Silver Spring, Maryland.
Wow.
Why I remember that is,
Damn.
Yeah. I can't tell you what I did yesterday, but I remember the address to Jeppy's Comic World.
Come on, Memento.
Yeah, exactly. So I begged my mother, You gotta take me to Jeppy's. She's like, okay, we'll go this weekend. So, I had to live with the fact that I ain't have G.I. Joe #7 from the ops for a week, and it bothered me. But eventually we go, and now I know it's real. I go into Jeppy's, and all I'm collecting is G.I. Joe. Because G.I. Joe, it's awesome. And over a few times I'm going, and I'm noticing, like, by the time G.I. Joe #8 is coming out, I happen to look, and I'm going to just get it, and I'm used to just getting one, rolling out, taking my little allowance and getting that. And I look, and I see X-Men 173. And this is the iconic cover of Wolverine brown suit and Rogue behind him. And that's the first time. And what I remembered was, I said, man, that looked like the dude on Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends that got stuck in the brick wall with the claws. That looked like that dude's in comics. And the cover just kind of just draws you. So I pick it up and I flip through, and I'm like, well, he ain't getting stuck in no brick wall in this. I grab that, and I grab 172. Let me get both of them. Now 172, I might have my numbers off. I think it's 172 is the cover that has Wolverine in his Japanese, samurai with the knife through it. It's the wedding invitation for him and Mariko. And then 173, in fact, these are continuations from his 4-issue series, where, he is basically in Japan, and this, it's the continuity. If you get the Wolverine book, it has all of them. It goes from his 4-issue series through the end of 173. And I didn't realize that until I got it. Yeah.
Claremont and Frank.
Yes. So I get this thing. I remember I get in the car and I go straight to X-Men 173. And why I remember this, I don't know, but Atomic Dog by George Clinton is on the radio.
Nice.
So the soundtrack that plays in my mind every time I look at X-Men 173 is Atomic Dog. So Paul Smith's run, I don't think it was about 10 issues.
No, it was only 8. Only ever 8 issues.
But when you think about what that man, what the work he did, if I'm not mistaken, he gave us Mohawk Storm.
Yep, that was him.
He gave us the fight between Storm and Callisto in the Morlocks. Just amazing. It's his body of work, though limited, was epic to me and I think part of it is that it resonated with a very young me. And it could be because of that I have some struggle with my actual Mount Rushmore, which is John Byrne.
Mm.
Byrne is tough for me because there was a window with Byrne, man, that to me, Byrne is like the human equivalent of Prince from 84 through the end of the run with the Revolution.
Mm.
Run. Tell me a thing, man, that John Byrne did that you can't look at and go, yeah, this time that was heat. She-Hulk. I wasn't thinking about no She-Hulk, but let John Byrne draw it. I had to have it.
Drew wrote it.
Oh yeah, Drew and wrote it. When John Byrne went to the Hulk, you had it was mostly splash pages and giant panels, but you go back and look at that and it's like, man, all right, I ain't mad at it. When Byrne did just Alpha Flight.
Yeah.
When I think about just his run on Alpha Flight, which I believe he created the entire. Did he create Alpha Flight? Okay, so that was him.
Yeah, that was him.
Just incredible. The only thing I'm mad about on Alpha Flight is
Alpha Flight. They suck.
Well, apart from it just being trash, the thing I'm mad about is when he brought back Vindicator in in issue 25. I loved the way he did it, and then it was a bait and switch. And I feel like you lost out on some opportunity for some additional stories that would have been really cool with him in that setup. But when I think about Fantastic Four, his run on Fantastic Four, amazing. So
real good.
Now, mind you, we're talking about Marvel, so I won't get into his Superman or any of those other things. But Byrne is one of those dudes. Whatever he touched, it was like Prince in his young 20-something Prince, prime Prince. Now, mind you, Prince's prime is you can't really it really has no end. Yes, his whole entire life was his prime. But the Prince that I fell in love with, that was like,
Crunch.
Yes, it is. That was Byrne. Byrne to me is that for Marvel. But again, it's when I line him up against the people that you're talking about, to me, it's kind of the Prince or Michael.
Mm.
I go with Michael.
Wow.
Much as I love Prince,
Paul Smith means like he made that much of an impact on you.
He did.
It's outstanding.
Yeah, it's when I think about it, it's somebody else can have that drew the same characters. I don't know about the X-Men without Paul Smith. It was because of Paul Smith that I was like, oh, who's this dude? His art looks cool. And then I was trying to find all the back issues that Byrne did. And that's when I fell in love with Byrne's, art and was looking for anything that he was doing. But without Paul Smith, I never pick up a copy of the X-Men. It's X-Men 173 that did it, and it was Paul Smith. His run was not long enough for me to really make a strong enough case to put him on the Mount Rushmore.
Mm-hmm.
But because of his impact, I have more of a difficult time really just being like Byrne. In fact, I'm giving you all my thought process. I was like, oh, it's Byrne. And then I was like, wait a minute. You wouldn't even know about him if not for this dude. And so how is that dude not in the consideration? Had he done it longer, would you be there, with him? Like he everything he did for X-Men, just the 8 books, I remember all 8 of them. Like I have them in the omnibuses or omnibuy, but I had to have them. Like those are must have in my collection. So the other thing that I will hold slightly against John Byrne, and this may not be fair, you all tell me this. You take away Terry Austin, do you even have John Byrne? Now that might be hot take.
To hang with that particular aspect of the conversation.
Him and Terry Austin they're Hall and Oates, man.
Yeah, they're Hall and Oates.
Yeah, it's like.
So how much of that is Byrne and how much of that is Austin? Right. That's kind of comes my question.
Yeah, I mean that's a dream team right there. The ultimate dream team was Claremont, Byrne, Austin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything that we're seeing on 97, X-Men 97, before that, just X-Men, the 90s, X-Men 92 or whenever it was that it dropped, is all based on their run.
Yeah, I can't, like, as many, and people could ink Byrne. Like, they could, but nobody was better than Terry Austin.
No, it's not even.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that none of you said Chris Claremont. Devon, that's honestly who I was expecting you to come with. Which is why I didn't say him.
Yeah.
I went there and I was like, one of them will have him.
I would only say Chris Claremont. He would absolutely be on an X-Men Mount Rushmore. He would not be on a Marvel Mount Rushmore. Because all he ever did was X-Men. And I mean, that would be enough. But the fact of the matter is like, outside of that, and we're going to be super real about this.
Yeah.
It lost its way a lot of times.
Dude, man, he was out there on the Shi'ar stuff. I'm going to be honest with you, man. To this day, I still don't entirely understand it. It's kind of like my own personal East of West.
Yeah.
It's kind of one of those things where it's so dope that I feel like I owe the book an apology. Like it's my fault that it's not that it's not dope. I'm just not smart. You know.
No, no, it's just that the man was just doing too damn much. Like the problem was like he wore his influences on his sleeve. Man sees the Shogun miniseries or reads the book and he's like, I can do Shogun, but with Wolverine. He goes to see Star Wars. He's like, I'm gonna do Star Wars, but with the X-Men.
Right.
Oh, I just saw Alien. I'm gonna do Alien in the
Wow.
X-Men books and call
He
them.
sure enough did.
Yeah.
And it ruled.
It all ruled.
I mean, it all ruled, but
Oh, this is
wow, I never connected the threads there, man. It's like, damn,
the
that's
Brood looks
exactly
like
what he did.
the Xenomorphs, man.
exactly like Xenomorphs.
Just they're brown. Watch
Yeah.
out.
And it was just like, I mean, as you get older, you start to realize it's almost like music. It's like when you get older, you start to realize where everybody's taking things from. And that's like what Chris Claremont is to me. Chris Claremont is the Bruno Mars of comics.
Damn.
It's so mean.
That's
True.
yeah, I can't argue with that at all.
It's true. He's just pulling from everything and he's making great stuff with it. But the fact of the matter was that, yeah, you know what? I'll give him this. In the dynamics of the X-Men, nobody did a better job than Chris Claremont. Like, he was the one who said, okay, Nightcrawler's here, Wolverine's there, I'm going to have them be buddies. Like, here's the super calm guy who looks like he should be evil, but he's good. Here's the evil little guy. Okay, I'm going to put them together, and they're going to, like, bounce off of each other, and it's going to work. Storm, okay, I'm going to put her with Jean Grey. Yeah, and now they're buddies. They're sisters. Shit, they're sisters. And, you know, he just had a great knack for putting characters in the places they needed to be. So yeah, but he only did that with the X-Men. Like we talked about at the very beginning who the three locks were, and of course it was Stan Lee, it was
Kirby,
Ditko, and Jack Kirby. And Ditko, here's another thing, does not get his due for being like everybody just goes, he's Spider-Man. No, Ditko is Doctor Strange. I implore you, if you can, anybody listening to this, watching this, go find the Steve Ditko Doctor Strange stuff. It is some of the most beautiful comics you will ever put your eyes on. And another thing that people don't talk about enough, Iron Man. He was the fill-in artist on Iron Man. And you know what he did when he was on Iron Man? He was the one who redesigned the Iron Man outfit and gave us the red and gold.
Really?
Yes.
Did not know that.
That was him. He was the fill-in artist on Iron Man, came in, redesigned the suit.
Said, I'm not drawing this whack shit.
Said, I'm not drawing this crazy nonsense. And basically, that is the costume that we've been riffing on for 60 years now. Is his iteration of Iron Man.
So he has the definitive Iron Man and Spider-Man.
Yeah. And also, what a lot of people don't know is that he also inked early issues of The Incredible Hulk. So he had his hands across Marvel. Well, superhero-wise. And we're not even going to talk about his Atlas horror stuff, like, which is so good. But yeah, that man's footprint in Marvel, just wow, excellent.
If I may, I've just thought of another, maybe not necessarily on the Mount Rushmore, but certainly
Jason,
the steps leading up to it You know, Devon was talking about how Marvel Knights basically pulled Marvel out of bankruptcy, but I think what is worth being discussed is the time period in the bankruptcy. Like it was bad times at Marvel for everybody, not called the X-Men. And the the sun has rarely set on the empire of the X-Men. And this was one of the times where I was drawn back into X-Men comics. Not necessarily for the writing. Shout out to Scott Lobdell. Not my guy. But I didn't care because who was drawing it? Joe Madureira. Boy, that man is an unsung hero within comics, probably because he take too long to draw stuff, but hey, I get it. You tell people complain about waiting on books and shit. You draw one. You draw it. You do it one time. You do it one time from conception all the way to getting it printed and going over your roughs. You do it one time and you will gain an appreciation for how long and how arduous a process this whole thing is. But I digress. Man's and I think it should be said along lowercase Adam Warren around the same time period. These two guys were pretty influential in bringing manga sensibilities into American comics and getting new eyes on that kind of stuff. For me, the way he iterated on Jim Lee's X-Men designs in the late 90s, they still they still stick with me. Like, I see Jim Lee's X-Men all the time. That's because it's the Fox Kids team. But they look like Joe Mad drew them. And as man, he stayed awesome all the way to the end. And actually, he is responsible for probably my favorite J. Jonah Jameson sequence in anything. It's in the middle of the Zero Tolerance story, which involves Bastion for you folks watching X-Men 97. Bastion comes to Jonah with all this dirt about the mutants, about the X-Men, about everybody. And I can't remember exactly like the full setup of the thing, but it leads to J. Jonah telling Bastion to go fuck himself and burning the evidence because Jonah is a man of integrity about everything except Spider-Man. Spider-Man? Oh, he'll make shit up. He's a man. He eats babies. But the mutants? Why are you oppressing this marginalized community, you son of a bitch? Get out of my office before I throw you out the window. Which is crazy because, you know, Bastion is Nimrod, I think, right? Like, it's like, don't fight him, Jonah. Don't do that. You're gonna get a New York ass whooping. Stop. But yeah, Joe Mad, I think he goes up there too.
All right. Gentlemen, that is we are at a tight 47 minutes.
I like that. I like that. I think we should bring it home for the people.
Bring home Chris. Please pray us out.
Close your damn eyes, come on. Turn your lights out. Turn them out. Your Reverend Teddy Pendergrass.
I know, I was thinking the same thing. Turn them off.
We've enjoyed a time of good Christian camaraderie. Talking about people shooting laser beams and other doodads from their hoo-has. Yeah, we've had a great time.
Yeah, man.
We've had a time. We've enjoyed your company, and we hope that you've enjoyed ours. Do yourself a favor if you're not an older fan like some of us on this call. Not me, I'm only 40. Seek out some of the back issues. You might gain a new appreciation for comic art and its creative process. Yeah. Take care of yourselves, drink water. We'll see you next time on the Top Guy.